What is up, dudes? Welcome back to another video, and today we are here taking a look at the Silence of the Lambs Neca Hannibal Lecter from a film series I have neglected to watch. I have not seen any of the Silence of the Lambs. I don't know if it's like a franchise. I don't know. I haven't looked too much into Silence of the Lambs. I think there's like 4 movies that are different named. I don't know. 4 or 5. I don't remember. So, anyways, we're taking a look at the Neca figure. This I got at Walmart, and I think this thing's pretty cool. More statue-like, but it's whatever. Still pretty cool, though. I'm very excited to take a look at it. But of course, before I start, like, subscribe, all that stuff. Don't have to if you don't want to, but if you do, that is greatly appreciated. And of course, in the description below is my socials if you want to follow those. If you don't, that's okay. So taking a look at the box is pretty blank. I mean, there's only a moth with like a skull on its back. I believe the skull is supposed to be like, I don't remember. I know there's some sort of lore with that skull on the back of that moth. I think it's like naked women or something. I don't remember the lore of it. I know it's creepy, but yeah, it's pretty cool though. It looks like a skull, so that's pretty neat. At the bottom, you just have Silence of the Lambs Hannibal Lecter action figure. Nothing crazy there. Speaking of nothing crazy, the sides are pretty boring, just Silence of the Lambs through and through. I think the only interesting thing is the back of the box. There's nothing crazy going on with the front or sides. Back of the box is kind of cool. Shows you a little bit of, the character. If you wanted to pause and read that real quick, I'll have it up in a second. But some other images of the actual figure, just some poses you can kind of get it in with the different head sculpts. And there you can pause that if you want to. It's for if you want to read it yourself, because I don't really feel like doing that right now. So taking this figure out of the box, which I know I didn't even look at the opening of the front. That's on me. That's my bad, but I already got rid of the box, so I'm sorry about that. But it is pretty cool to see Hannibal Lecter with all his accessories, which is pretty neat. He comes with 2 different clamp trays for his dolly and the, I don't remember what you'd call that, stretcher dolly. I call it a dolly, I don't care. And the backdrop is pretty cool. The cardboard that they use for this backdrop is actually tougher than I've ever seen on a Neca figure. Like, it feels more higher quality, which is kind of neat. I like the background, though. Very simple, very plain, but pretty cool. If you take this out, you do have his, I guess, stretcher. I don't remember. I don't know what it's called. I'm sorry. I'm just gonna call it a dolly. He got that to go with the one tray. And then if you take Hannibal Lecter out, he does look pretty cool. I'm actually very happy with the way this guy looks. And this was the version I do want. There's like 2 different versions, and one of them is with this entire like setup, and the other one's just kind of him in a cell. But both of them are kind of statue-like, which are kind of interesting. But this one, since they were both statue-like, this one I want more. So you can clip these little things. These little straps are actually attached to the figure, and you can connect these to the figure himself. It's just such a pain in the ass to get it on, because those tabs and those holes are like rubber, the tabs mostly, and it's just such an absolute pain to get these on. The best way to actually put these on is to slip it through one of the first bar here, like right into here. I think that's the best way to do it, to make it look a little bit more real, I guess. It would just kind of look weird if he wasn't attached to the stretcher thing. So yeah, that's kind of the best way to do it. I do like the way it looks. I think that it's very nicely detailed. The colors, I think, are pretty decent. There's nothing crazy going on with them, to be honest. I do like the coloring, and I do like the place he put his feet. He does have moving wheels, which is kind of neat. Nothing crazy though. It's not fully detailed, but I do like the silver parts, and I do like kind of like the pillow, or the soft part at the top. It's not soft, it's plastic, but it's pretty cool. There's some details hidden throughout. He does have this little functionality here that hinges up, and the wheels do spin as well, so you can kind of cart them around if you want. So I think that's pretty cool. Doesn't clip in, but you can hold it like this, and if you have the figure on, he looks pretty cool. And there is the feature there where you can kind of just move him around. It works pretty well, to be honest. I actually really do like the way that looks, and I think that is a very cool display option. Now for the figure himself, I think he looks great. I think that the details are pretty good for the most part. I mean, for a statue-like figure, he looks pretty good. I do like the detailing. I like the straitjacket that he's in. I like the coloring for the pants, and I love the wrinkling of the pants as well. It's a super simple look, to be honest, but it still looks pretty cool, and I do like the way it looks, and the head sculpts do look very nice. He does come with this masked head, which looks great. This is the head that I usually have him with because it looks cool and it's iconic. Like, this is the look you see Hannibal Lecter have. A little bit of sloppiness on one of the straps at the very top of the head, just mixing in with this hair color, but it's alright. He's got those little bald patches, but they're not greatly painted on this head sculpt. And yeah, it's whatever. And there's a little bit more of the strap and on the back of the figure too. The figure does stand kind of, I mean, I got him to stand. I'm actually surprised I got him to stand like this, because after this, I had such a terrible time making him stand. But of course, like I said, he comes with this head, and he comes with this one, which this one is a more neutral one without the mask. It does look very nice. It's very blurry. There we go. Heck yeah. Looks great. I love the wrinkling and stuff. I like how it's painted, and it looks like the characters, so that's pretty neat. He also comes with this smiling head, which is not my favorite out of the bunch, but it is still pretty cool. It'd be kind of neat to add like blood effects to the mouth. I don't know why. It would just look cool. And then he comes with the last head, which is his more angry head, which is pretty neat. There's something about it I don't necessarily care for, but it still looks pretty cool. And here I am struggling to stand him up. Like I said, he was standing, you saw it, he was standing just fine a minute ago, but for some reason he is just struggling to stand right now. So I would just suggest keeping him on the dolly and whatever. So yeah, that's whatever. But if you wanted him to pose, he does have an up and down at the head, side to side, full rotation at the heads and stuff. The head has a lot of articulation within the base of the neck. It does look pretty neat, but he has no waist movement, he has no leg movement. The only movement he has is at the ankle areas. That's pretty much it. It's very lackluster in the accessory department, but he's still pretty cool looking. I do like the way his entire look looks, I guess. He's, again, I don't know if I like this figure, mainly because I like my posable figures. It would have been cool to have like an Ultimate Edition Hannibal Lecter figure and get him posed and stuff, and then you have to put the straitjacket on and you can get this iconic look. You just got to do it yourself. I would have preferred that more than a statue. And so far, from the two Hannibal Lecter figures I've seen at Walmart, which is pretty much where we got this figure, they're pretty much statue-like, and I don't really care for that too much. This one I wanted the most because, I mean, if I wanted a statue, this is the most iconic look for the statue, to be honest. And it's whatever. It looks great. I still like it. It's just, I wish there was more to it. You know what I mean? Especially with the figure out this, within this year. I don't know if this is a reissue. I would assume it'd be a reissue, because I feel like if this was an Ultimate figure, we would get so much more stuff. But as it stands, this figure is okay. It's not my favorite, but I do like it because it's Hannibal Lecter and it's of an iconic look. And yeah, this guy's probably a 7. Now, I'm sorry. Like I said, it is of an iconic look, but again, I just don't care that there's a lack of posability. It's whatever. I think this guy is probably a 3.5 out of 5. I still like it, and I recommend it to anybody who loves Hannibal Lecter because it is a great figure. But this is just not for me, to be honest. I still really like it. The reason why it's kind of high up there with the rating is because it is an iconic looking figure and it looks great. It's painted well, it's detailed well, and the dolly, looks great and it functions, so that's neat. And I'm glad he does have the 3 heads or the 4 heads and it can actually move around and stuff. Just not for me. But anyways, that's basically it for this video. I hope you guys did enjoy this one. The commentary, I'm sorry, it is so hot in this house. We don't have AC, so I'm dying, and I just got off of work too, and the holidays are here, and I'm dying, you know what I mean? But I am very happy to review this figure because it is a great figure, and hopefully, if you guys don't mind the lack of posability, you guys will enjoy this figure, and I hope you guys do. I know he's still in Walmart's, I believe, but I'm sure you can get him somewhere else for a pretty decent price. But that is all for this video. I hope you guys did enjoy this one. If you did, like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff. And I will see you guys in the next horror video, which will probably be tomorrow, because I'm going to try and make a video every single day. So hopefully you guys had a good one. Take care. Love you, love your show. Bye-bye.